Chromatography is a physical separation technique used to separate and analyze complex mixtures. It was first developed in the early 20th century, and the term chromatography originates from the Greek words chroma, color, and graphine, to write, which relates to the method's initial use to separate pigments from plants. The main principle behind chromatography is that different compounds in a mixture will interact differently with two substances: a stationary phase and a mobile phase. The stationary phase is a solid or a liquid on a solid support, and the mobile phase is a liquid or a gas that is moving over the stationary phase. In the chromatography process, a sample is first dissolved in the mobile phase, which is then run through or over the stationary phase. Different components of the mixture will move at different speeds depending on their differing interactions with the two phases, which allows them to be separated. There are several types of chromatography, including paper chromatography. The stationary phase is a strip of filter paper, and the mobile phase is a solvent that travels up the paper, carrying the sample with it. Thin layer chromatography, TLC. The stationary phase is a thin layer of silica gel or alumina on a plastic or glass plate, and the mobile phase is a solvent that moves up the plate by capillary action. Column chromatography. The stationary phase is a column filled with a solid particle, and the mobile phase is a liquid or gas that moves through the column. Gas chromatography, GC. The stationary phase is a high boiling point liquid adsorbed onto a solid, and the mobile phase is an inert gas, like helium. High-performance liquid chromatography, HPLC. The stationary phase is a solid particle, and the mobile phase is a high-pressure liquid. Ion exchange chromatography. The stationary phase is an ion exchange resin, and the mobile phase is a liquid. It's used to separate ions based on their charge. Each method has its own specific applications, advantages, and limitations. The selection of a specific chromatographic method depends on the nature of the sample, the components to be separated, and the analysis to be performed. Chromatography is widely used in various fields, including pharmaceuticals, forensics, environmental testing, and food industry, to test water samples, air samples, food ingredients, drugs, and much more. It is an essential technique in the scientific field because of its ability to analyze, separate, and purify substances.